All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Zoho Docs integration with Dropbox webinar. It is 9 o'clock today on Wednesday, and we're glad that you can spend an hour with us to look at our integration. My name is Warren, and I'm here with Travis Howland at the Pleasanton office. We'll be doing our demo, and I'm also here with Raju and a number of our product team as well to help answer any questions you might have about this integration. So first off, going into our agenda here, we're going to show you an overview of what this integration looks like for yourself, whether you're using it for your business or for your personal life. And then we're going to do a live demo to show you all the actual features. And then we're going to open up to Q&A if you have any questions. So for Q&A, we're going to mute everyone. And if you can just click the raise hand icon, we'll answer each question individually, and we'll unmute you once we select you as a speaker. And then you can also use the chat box as well to ask any questions, and we'll be answering them throughout the presentation, or you can save them for the end. So without further ado, please let me welcome Raju, and he's going to help look at the overview of Zoho Docs with Dropbox.
Thanks, Warren. Good morning, everyone. So just going through the Zoho Docs, before we get started with the talking about the actual integration, I thought I'll give you a brief overview about Zoho Docs. Some of you are already familiar with the product, but Zoho Docs is actually really built for businesses. So you'll see that business-friendly features built into the application, which means it comes with a good org functionality. When you say org functionality, you can control many things like enabling certain level of security or managing multiple users and storage for multiple users, and all the org-related features that you would need to use Zoho Docs in your business. So Zoho Docs is ideally optimized for business use. That obviously means we need to have a deep set of features so that it meets the needs of many businesses. And so we've added a lot of features there, and that includes adding an Office suite. So we have been working on an Office suite from 2005, and we have a really powerful word processor, spreadsheet, and presentation applications. And these apps, the fact that they are online, enable collaboration, enhance collaboration, and collaborative editing being one of the core features of these applications, which means all of us on the call can be on the same spreadsheet or a document and keep editing the same document simultaneously, seeing each other's changes in real time. And this functionality is all built in, and the good news is all the documents that you create using our Zoho Writer Sheet and Show, which is basically our word processor, spreadsheet, and presentation apps, are all saved in Zoho Docs. So Zoho Docs is our central document management repository where the word processor, spreadsheet, presentation are some of the key applications that are part of the platform. But then it adds more features around the documents that you create, where users can check in and check out document to basically maintain the appropriate access and make sure that you always have the latest version. And things like task management. I mean, in business case, there is this personal task management, and then there are task management related to a workflow. Let's say you get an agreement and you want few people to review that agreement. Well, you can just assign a task and link that to that particular document, and that task will be assigned to a certain user. So such things can be added to documents as well. And of course, you can write a review on a document and maybe discuss with other colleagues. So we have integrated some collaboration features as well. And of course, sharing becomes an important part when your documents are online. So Zoho Docs allows you to share documents in multiple formats and in multiple roles as well. So for example, I can share a document with another user in read-only basis or a read-write basis. So that way you can kind of restrict permissions on a per-user basis. Also, you can even choose to give ownership permission of a document to another user. This means if you make another user an owner, and that user will be able to share the document with additional users. So it offers a good range of sharing functionality. And of course, the fact that Zoho Docs is part of our entire Zoho suite, it is integrated across applications, and that's where some of the value kicks in. For example, the document that you save in Zoho Docs, well, you can take that and attach it to maybe an account or a contact in your CRM system. Or if you're working on a project and you have some documents stored in Zoho Docs, and you can directly attach them in Zoho projects. So like that, Zoho Docs is really integrated across various applications. For now, I'm listing 4 of these, but there are many others coming as well. And it's a powerful application, and as some of you already know, and the team is here making extensive changes, and there are a lot of good things coming with Zoho Docs. And then we have Dropbox. When Dropbox did an amazing job when it comes to simplifying things, where they make it really easy to sync your files across devices. When I say across devices, I'm talking about Windows, Mac, iPads, iPhones, Android phones, Android tablets, and more. So they really make it seamless to synchronize documents across platforms and across devices. And they also have sharing, and it works across multiple devices. And for consumers, it's actually a really nice thing because there's no complication. You simply just drag your file in a folder, and it's available across all your devices. So that's a nice little feature, and it's actually a powerful service. And we thought we would bring that to Zoho users. And in fact, we have done that in the past too, where we have integrated Zoho and Dropbox in some of our other applications. One of the applications that we integrated was Zoho Mail, where you can connect Dropbox and Zoho Mail and attach a document through the Dropbox or from your Dropbox files. Or you can save a document directly from an attachment, Zoho Mail attachment, to your Dropbox folder. So this is something that we have done in the past. Similarly, we have integrated Zoho projects with Dropbox. So if you're working on a project and you want to make sure that you drag a file to a particular project folder in your Dropbox account, and that file shows up in your project management application in Zoho projects. So we have done some integration with Dropbox previously, but we thought we'll just take it up one more level and make a more powerful integration. And that's where the Zoho Docs and Dropbox integration comes in. So we integrated Zoho Docs with Dropbox. That's kind of a powerful integration. But just to go through a few things here, what you basically do is first you link your Dropbox account with your Zoho Docs account, and then select a folder that you want to sync, and Dropbox automatically takes care of the sync. And the nice thing here is once you have these documents or this linking between Zoho Docs and Dropbox set up, you can create a new document, for example, and that document shows up in all your devices. So there is the power of Zoho features, Zoho Docs features at one end, and then there is the power of sync on the Dropbox at the other end. So when these two work together, I think it can be pretty helpful. And we're going to demo that today. And because Zoho offers an Office suite, we let you create documents, and these documents are automatically synchronized through Dropbox. And of course, if you have a document that you drop into Dropbox, that document shows up in Zoho Docs, and you'll be able to edit those documents as well using the Zoho editors, and those changes will be reflected across your devices through Dropbox. So that's basically the core functionality here. We'll demo this functionality in a minute. But that said, this is the first version of our Dropbox integration. Certainly there are areas there where we could improve on, and the team is actively working to improve on. And I just want to upfront highlight some of the limitations we have. For example, if you add a file to Zoho Docs, generally it shows up in your Dropbox account a few seconds later. But then the other way, it may take a minute or two. So I just want to point that out upfront. And then for now, the subfolder sync is not supported, which means you have to select a folder that you want to sync between the two accounts, and only files within that folder will be synced. And if you want to sync maybe another folder, well, you can add another new sync and set that up. So there is a workaround to that. But I just want to highlight the limitation here. And another limitation is basically deletion of a file. When you delete a file, generally that is not reflected in the sync, just to be on the safe side. Again, this is something that we are working closely with the Dropbox team to see if there is a way to enable this. And another nice tidbit is I wouldn't recommend editing the document simultaneously in both Dropbox and Zoho. So if you are editing a document in using Word, for example, on your desktop, and if you try to open the same document in Zoho Writer, then there could be a conflict. So that could be a limitation. But then again, as I said earlier, this is the first version, and we are certainly looking to improve this, and all these limitations hopefully eventually will be addressed. And but that said, the current integration itself we believe is useful. This is the first version, and we would like to show a demo of that. With that, let me hand it over to Travis to take it over.
Thank you, Raju. All right, so for this demo here, let's get back to our desktop, and I will show you how we have this set up here. All right, to start off, I'm just assuming that most of you will have Dropbox already installed on your desktop here. I have it shown up here in this top left folder for my Dropbox folder. And then basically what we're going to have to do in order to activate this sync is we want to create a folder to sync in, both in Dropbox and in Zoho Docs. And then at that point what we'll do is we'll then connect those two folders together, and then they'll be synced. So for right now what we're going to do is create a folder in Dropbox, and we're just going to call it Building Project. And then we're also going to create another building project folder in Zoho Docs. So you can just click onto your personal folders here, and in your folders, create a new folder, and we'll call it Building Project. All right. So now that we've created our two folders that we're going to sync together, we want to go ahead and now connect these two accounts with our Dropbox account and our Zoho Docs account. So in order to do this, we're going to click the Dropbox button in Zoho Docs, and then that's going to take us to the Dropbox Sync Wizard. And from here, we're going to click Configure Your Dropbox Sync. Now here, since we don't have anything set up yet, we don't have any accounts in here. Once we do set them up, they'll be listed here that we can see. So to start this, we're going to click Configure New Dropbox Account. And this will pop up and first have you sign in to your Dropbox. Just wait for it to load here. All right. So now we're just going to go ahead and sign into our Dropbox. And at this point, the API request is going to come up and ask that Zoho Office would like to access all of our files and folders, to which we'll allow. And now back in the Zoho Docs window, we now have the option to select the Dropbox account. So we're going to go ahead and click on our Dropbox account. And now we see that those two folders that we created, both in the Dropbox folder, the building project, and in our Zoho Docs folder, are both visible. So now we're going to select both of those to select this folder to be synced. At that point, we're going to select Sync Folders. And now here we have the option to sync once or sync continuously. And the sync continuously will, as the name implies, sync files back and forth on a continuous basis. Versus the sync once will only sync files back and forth when you select it. This is a great option for using as like a backup if you do, for example, like monthly financial records or something that you want to have saved every month that once it's at the end of the month, you know, okay, great, this just needs to be, you know, saved and archived. You can sync it once, it will back it all up, and then you can move on to the next one. So for now, in this example, we're going to select Sync Continuously, and then we're going to go ahead and start the sync. Now, from here, we see the sync controls. And now with this, the play and pause button, or excuse me, the stop and pause button, this allows us to pause or to resume the continuous sync. And on the far left here, this single little play button will allow us to just do a one-time sync. So if we've stopped the current sync, we can choose to basically just switch it to a one-time sync and use that button to manually activate that. On the other hand, if you'd like to continue with the continuous sync, you can select the continuous sync button right next to it, the little two arrows there, and that will resume your continuous sync. So now what I'd like to do is actually show how this is going to work here. So I've selected my building project folder in my personal folders, and I have some project files here on my desktop that I'd like to sync. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select from our Zoho Docs, I'm going to actually select to upload one of these project files. So I'm going to select the contract for now and choose to upload. So here we're just going to leave the default settings and go ahead and start the upload. And now once we started this upload here, and momentarily we'll see a little notification that Dropbox has now received that file. So now we can look over in the Dropbox folder in our building project, and we see that now our contract is now listed in that building project folder. So the other thing that you're able to do is through Zoho Docs, you're able to drag and drop multiple files as well. So to do this, we can simply go to our projects folder that I have on my desktop here, and I can simply drag and drop a couple more files that I'd like to sync, and then select to go ahead and upload them. So this will upload those files into my Zoho Docs, and momentarily it will also sync those files into my building project folder in Dropbox. So these take about 10 or 15 seconds to upload and to sync back and forth here. So we're going to see now those files are now added back into Dropbox. So we now have all three of our files there. So the other thing we can do is we can drag multiple files into Dropbox. So to showcase that, I'm going to drag a couple of these project files into Dropbox. So I'm going to grab a couple files here, say some building photos and a financial report. I'm going to drag those into the building project in Dropbox. Now, going this direction from Dropbox into Zoho Docs takes a little bit longer, but you'll see that those popped up and went right there. Perfect. So the next thing we can do is we can actually create a document in Zoho Docs and have it show up in our Dropbox. So to showcase that, we're just going to create a new document. And in this case, we're just going to call it Project Docs. click at the top, the unnamed document here, to rename it and just call it Project Docs. And then just select what we want to have in this file. All right, perfect. So we've named a file named Project Docs, and we've saved it into our Zoho Docs. And now we can see this file now pops up into our building projects in Dropbox. So the other thing that we'd like to show is the ability to actually edit a file in Zoho Docs and have that edit go through into Dropbox. So in this case, let's go to our financial report, and let's make some changes to this using Zoho Sheet. So here we have some income numbers and a graph. So we're going to go ahead and add a couple more numbers here for these next few years. So we're going to add those numbers there, and we'll see the graph change a little bit to show that those additional numbers have been added. So now we're going to see that that also was updated into our Dropbox folder. So we'll go back into here, and our financial report here, I'm going to go ahead and open that on our local file, and oh, that's not quite edited there. All right, let's see. Sometimes this does take a couple minutes to sync up here. Let's open this guy again and look. All right, let's add one more number in here. So now we'll go ahead and wait for that change to show up in Dropbox. And that should be within a minute or so here. And we'll wait for that change to show up in Dropbox here. So like we said, the syncing back and forth is fairly quick from Zoho Docs to Dropbox, but sometimes it can take up to a minute or two for that sync to happen here. So we're going to go ahead and also show that, let's see here if this is not quite, okay. So moving on, let's make a change to something in Dropbox. And let's say, for example, let's open up our contract on our local machine here, and let's add some text in here. And go ahead and save that. So we've now made a change to our Dropbox file, and we should see that momentarily here updated in Zoho Docs.
And as we mentioned earlier, generally when you update something in Zoho Docs, it immediately shows up in Dropbox. But when it is the other way around, where when you update something on the Dropbox side, it may take a little bit longer on that front. That's one of the current limitations. Again, we are looking to address that soon. So, but generally the syncing and all of these should work seamlessly. And of course, there are, as we mentioned earlier, we don't recommend opening the document simultaneously at both places, given that given the conflict that could happen, and you have to manually do it. For now, we don't recommend that you open the file at the same time.
So the next thing we'd like to showcase is having the ability to add documents into Zoho Docs and in turn into Dropbox from your Zoho Mail. So from my Zoho mail here. I've been sent an email with an archive zip that I'd like to add to my Zoho Docs. So I can go ahead and select Add to Zoho Docs, and then I can also select which folder I'd like to put it in. So in this case, I'm going to select my building project and go ahead and add that to my building project. So now we see we get a notification here. It's been added directly to Dropbox as well. So we can go back to our Zoho Docs and we see that the archive is both added into my Zoho Docs. And then also I can see now it's added at the bottom of my Dropbox project file here. So the next thing we'd like to show is the ability to also attach files from your local computer into Dropbox and then add those to a contact or a lead in CRM.
Because as we mentioned earlier, Zoho Docs is integrated into any business application. So Zoho not only provides the document storage layer, but we also provide the applications on top of it. So be it your financial applications, be it the CRM related applications or other apps, and most of these apps we have integrated them with Zoho Docs. And this is one of those things that are powerful where you just add your document to Zoho Docs at one end, and Dropbox at one end, and that automatically shows up in Zoho Docs. And that means it can also be attached to your CRM application or any business application for that matter.
So as we've seen here, we've uploaded the CRM vendor file into Dropbox, and we're just going to wait a moment for this to sync back into our Zoho Docs. And then at that point, we've opened another CRM tab over here that we're going to then be able to attach that document into a lead in our CRM. So in the CRM leads page, we're going to scroll down to where it says Attachments, and then we're going to select Zoho Docs. Now from here, we can select any of the documents that we would like. So for example, we can attach our NDA and attach that, and that will be attached directly to the lead in CRM. So in this example, in this demo, we've showed how we can integrate Zoho Docs and Dropbox to be able to share files back and forth, and also to edit files and make changes to documents and spreadsheets from within Zoho Docs that also gets pushed back into Dropbox. So the last thing I'd like to show you is if you'd like to add additional folders to be synced. What we can do is we can add, say we want to sync personal files from my Dropbox account. What we can do is on our personal folders, we can simply create another folder called Personal Files, and then we can go back to our Dropbox icon here, and we'll see that we're currently continuously syncing our building project folders, and we can also add another sync. So this is one of the temporary workarounds for syncing multiple folders or subfolders. You can just simply select additional folders in here for personal files, as this example, and then sync. And that will you can again select whether you want to sync it once or continuously. In this case, we'll just sync it once. But that basically is going to show you then that you can have multiple folders synced with your Zoho Docs and Dropbox back and forth. And then lastly, if you don't want to share personal files anymore or any of the other folders that you have listed here, it's very simple to just click the red X and delete it, and then that is no longer synced with Zoho Docs. Additionally, if you remove Zoho Docs from your Dropbox entirely, from your Dropbox login through the web, you can simply go to your settings and a tab called My Apps, and it will list Zoho Office as one of the things that you're giving access to. You can simply remove access from there, and that will completely unlink your Zoho Docs and your Dropbox folders. So on that note, thank you for bearing with me with this demo here. I'm going to hand it back to Warren.
And talking about some of the things, there are a few other nice things in Zoho Docs where you can directly forward an attachment to an email address. Zoho Docs provides an email address where you forward an attachment to that particular email address, and the attachment will be automatically be saved into Zoho Docs. So the advantage of that is, once if you're on the road, let's say, and you're on your smartphone, and you want to have that document show up in all places, you can directly forward that particular attachment from your smartphone to the email address that Zoho Docs gives you, and that attachment from that email will be added to Zoho Docs, which means when connected with Dropbox, it'll show up in all places. So there are some nice features with that that can be enabled with this integration.
All right, thank you, Raju. So just to sum up, basically Zoho Docs can now be synced with your Dropbox across multiple devices and multiple platforms. So this makes the whole process very easy and friendly for your business. And then you can use our full Office suite to manage those documents. So whether it's the word processor, the spreadsheet, or a presentation, you can use all of the powerful features of Zoho Docs for your business, for file sharing, for managing your workspaces, and also to do task management as well that's optimized for your business. And then what makes this, as Raju alluded to, having that mobile side as well is very powerful. So again, this sync works across multiple platforms for your smartphone, and this updates files very easily, and you can do this from your phone, from your email client, and you can manage this from your desktop as well. So we just make the entire integration agnostic to your platform and to your device. All right, well, thank you so much for your patience, guys. We hope that was helpful.